was feeling alright by the end of the night, so I sat down and I rolled up a scoop. I put the TV on and I packed my bong. Hell, I was really in the mood. I toked and choked about a dozen times, and then my face melted right through my hands. Now all I need is some Lebanese blonde and my hash pipe. Well, it wasn't too long before the munchies came on, so I polished off everything I had in the fridge. It was pure delight, eating everything in sight, and the pizza's gonna be here soon. I fell over my cat, nearly snapped the furry little bastard's back, and I sprained my bloody ankle too. If only I could remember where I put the hash pipe, 'cause I'm really stoned again, as wasted as can be. I'm higher than the clouds and ripped right out of my tree. Just think that the night has just begun. Well, the knock at the door scared the absolute shit right out of me, so I limped across to my door. Through my bloodshot eyes I could barely see the pizza man at my door. I paid the cash and I asked him if, "Hey man, you wanna go to the moon?" I got plenty of stash somewhere, but I can't find the hash pipe. Well, he turned to me and he said with one of those dark-eyed Italian looks that comes from staying out really late night in a little red car with a telephone on the top of it, "Hey, come stop, mate, come inside what you want, no worries, mate," and torch up a billy or four. I went to the fridge to get a couple of beers, and you never guess what I found. Between the yogurt and the pate was the hash pipe. But I'm really stoned again, I'm as wasted as can be. I'm higher than the clouds and ripped right out of my tree. Just think that the night has just begun. Come on boys, let's go for a buzz. Wasted as can be, I'm higher than the clouds and ripped right out of my tree. Just think that the night has just begun. Oh yeah, just think that the night has just begun. I've only had 27 pipes. Think I could drive. My steering wheel's turning into a stick of licorice. I'm so stoned I could eat kitty litter because it's really crunchy. If I don't get something to eat soon, I'm going to eat my fucking hand. Oh boy, this is some good stuff. Okay folks, settle back and let me tell you a tale about a gig I once played at many years ago. I lived in Frankston on the Mornington Peninsula in Victoria and was booked to play in a little Australian town called Hamilton. Now Hamilton is about a 3 to 4 hour drive in most normal cars, but in my combi van with a tailwind I was looking at least a 5.5 hour drive. I called my bus the Aerodynamic Brick. 85 k's an hour tops, it was going to be a long drive. I got there about 7 o'clock and had a great time. The people were really into what I played and I was on a real natural high, as it were. I decided to drive back to Frankston at midnight after the gig, as the roads would be quiet and I would not have any irate drivers sitting and snarling on my butt all the way home. It was just out of Glen Thompson, about 20 minutes out of Hamilton, that my feeble little headlights picked up a pack-laden human being trunching along the road with its thumb out. I knew it was going to be a long drive, and the company would keep me awake. So I pulled over and I let him in. He threw his pack into the back of the combi on top of the PA and settled into the front seat, and we swapped small talk for about half an hour. He seemed pretty cool and was thankful that I picked him up. Our conversation took a turn when he said,
"You're not adverse to me smoking a little joint, are you, man?"
I told him that that'd be okay, but I'd better not have any as I was driving and didn't want to crash the bus. He then proceeded to shut off all the air vents in the bus and roll all the windows up. He said that this was because he was cold and he wanted to feel the effects of the weed. I just kept right on driving as this kid pulled out a Zeppelin. It was huge. It looked like the roll that is left when the dunny paper runs out. He lit it and proceeded to toke away with a big smile on his dial with every breath. He just kept toking, and the combi got slower and slower and slower and slower, till I was doing about 40 k's and I thought I was doing fucking light speed. My mouth was dry and I needed a drink. Then I remembered about the milk container I'd slipped under the seat on the way to the gig. So I reached under and opened the top of the carton and took a drink. This solid block of off milk now slid all the way to the back of my neck before my brain could stop it. I swallowed and nearly choked, but that killed the dry horror stone dead. We were listening to Apocalypse Now on the car stereo, and the hitchhiker seemed to be really getting into it. And he'd had about 1.5 inches left of his joint when... oh shit. What am I going to say? I'm so wasted. I started to practice some words in my head. Hello, what seems to be the problem, officer? What seems to be the problem, officer? What seems to be the problem? Then I heard his footsteps on the gravel coming up alongside the car. Now this idiot that I'd picked up had not thrown the joint out of the car, he just tucked it into his mouth. You know the way some people do to hide ciggies? Well, he has done this and was sitting like a statue to my left, just snorting occasionally with little wisps of smoke coming out of his nose. The inside of my car looked like a B-grade horror movie at about 5 o'clock in the morning. Solid fog. I was so ripped.
Can I see some identification, please, dickhead?
God, now I have to get my wallet out of my pants and pretend to be straight. Meanwhile, this idiot sitting next to me is letting out bigger snorts now and fidgeting around in his seat a little bit more. I wound the window down about 1 centimetre and flicked it at the cop, then wound the window up so tight so as not to let him know that I was off my face. Luckily for me, I had my driver's licence taken completely out of focus, and he's looking at it going, who the fuck is this guy? It was about 10 degrees C outside, but I was sweating like I was in the Daintree. The copper then said,
Look, mate, you've done a taillight, so I'm going to have to book you. Here, sign here.
Oh shit, now I have to wind the window down. When I did this, a huge Colombian cloud smacked the copper right between the eyes. He looked at me and I just looked straight back at him with nervous tension all over my face. He said in a very quiet voice,
I'm hungry, and I can't figure out why.
I signed the ticket that the copper gave me and I watched the policeman walk back to his car, swaying just a little bit. I ate the ticket because I figured I needed my fibre, you know. The idiot hitchhiker that I picked up was in a puddle of drool and slobber on the seat next to me when... I woke up. I was on the couch in my hotel room. It had all been a bad dream. 'Cause I'm really stoned again, as wasted as can be. I'm higher than the clouds and ripped right out of my tree. Just think that the night has just begun. Oh yeah, just think that the night has just begun.